Hello everyone, thank you for being here today. My name is Nathaniel C. Gatos. I am the Miller Library's Technical Services Manager, and I'd like to welcome you for attending our annual International Students Day celebration, co-sponsored by Miller Library, ASWNMU, that's the Associated Students of Western New Mexico University, as well as the Student Life Department. Before we kind of really kick things off, I'd like to just take a moment to briefly discuss the history of International Students Day and how it came about. The date, November 17th, it was chosen to be the International Students Day due to the events that unfolded in Prague during World War II. And essentially what happened is that on November 17th, 1939, students' resistance in the streets of Prague against Nazi occupation inspired the establishment of an anti-Nazi student coalition. And then in 1941, November 17th was declared International Students Day by the International Students Council in London, which became the starting point of the founding of the International Union of Students. Today, it's kind of evolved into a not just acknowledging and remembering that day of Nazi resistance, but also now it's evolved into a celebration of multicultural diversity of students from all around the world. Essentially, students, the way that it works out is it's treated as an international observance of student activism in a manner obviously different from its original meaning. It gives special focus on ensuring education is available for all students, and support and encouragement for the call of to secure and adequate economic, social, and health welfare, and for the well-being of all students, because I think we can all agree that education is a human right, and we should provide and secure access to that for all, regardless of nationality. Students are our future, and these are the minds, these are the people and the minds that are going to take our countries forward, no matter their background or their field of study. We should always celebrate those who want to further their knowledge, with a lot of students going on to great lengths to do so, specifically international students. So this day is a perfect opportunity for us to pay honor to the students of the world. From all corners of the globe, students are working hard to achieve their career goals and make a difference. Some students even leave their families, they travel far and wide to a place in a university that will help them have a better life and provide for their loved ones. This is something that we definitely want to celebrate and honor, and that's what we're here today for. And one way that we honor and celebrate our international students at Western New Mexico University is by raising flags in acknowledgement and recognition of the international students that come here. We've raised all these flags for various students over the years. Today we want to honor and celebrate our students from Cambodia and Ecuador, and we have 2 flags that we're going to be raising, and we are going to do that right now. It won't be me doing it, but somebody. Please be careful.
It's on the front. Jason? It's on the front. There you go.
And once the flags are raised, we will be listening to the national anthems from both countries. They'll be doing it shortly. There was a technical difficulty with a paperclip. That's just the way it goes sometimes. I had $1 for every time I need a paperclip. I'd have $0. This is definitely one of those good things come to those who wait situations. How's everybody's evening going so far? Great. Awesome. Yay! Awesome. And again, we will now be listening to the national anthems of both Cambodia and Ecuador. Michael, which one are you going to do first?
Cambodia.
Awesome. That was beautiful, and now we honor and celebrate Ecuador. That was fantastic. To continue our celebration, we have several wonderful guest speakers lined up for you. Our first speaker is Dr. Isaac Brundage, who is the Vice President of Student Affairs and Enrollment Management. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Brundage to the microphone.
So for those of you who are wondering why I'm late, I was actually here early, but I was sent home to change clothes. I was told that I need to wear something a little more festive for the occasion, like I did last time. So I went and changed into a dashiki that I actually purchased from one of our Zambian students sitting in the audience. Natasha, wave your hand. I don't know if she has any more than and the staff that I'm carrying was presented to me by the king of the Mbemba tribe in Zambia. So it's a staff of authority, and there's a story that goes behind it that I told last time that I promised not to tell unless you ask me personally for that story. Please tell. I'll tell you personally the story. But first, a lot of times we ask ourselves, like, how do we get students from so many different countries here? And you have to really think about who brings them here. So before I get started, I want to thank some people. Athletics is one. Scott Noble and his team, thank you for what you all do to bring students. We have our admission staff, Margaret and Andrew and their team, and Elizabeth, I don't think she's in the room, but they work to make sure the students have all the documentation that they need to be here. Thank you to them. And then we have support from our academic areas in our community. Christian Challenge plays a big role in supporting a lot of our international students in our academic areas also. Let's give them a round of applause too. When I first came here and did my presentation, I actually, it was right after we returned from Zambia. And the students here, we had 4 students from Zambia. They were brand new students here. And I talked about the experience that we had when we went to Zambia and them coming here. And like I said, I told the story about the staff of authority and some of the other things that happened. But guess what? Those students are about to graduate now. And I think that's the beauty of what we do here at Western. We bring them in and we work with them, and now they're ready to graduate. So this fall, if everything goes as planned, right, Richard and Natasha, they'll be graduating this fall, and now Dr. Shepard made us a promise, and I'm going to say it publicly so we can hold him to it, that we will also have a ceremony for them in Zambia, because we know that all of their family might not be able to make it here. So I'm looking forward to that, and I know they are as well. And throughout that time, we've got some new Zambian students to come and join us. Throughout that, I think we have about 4 or 5 more, and I know there's some others who are waiting to come, and we've had to delay because of COVID. And thinking about our international students, I thought about what is the importance of having international students on our campus? And one, the students get to see the world. You know, a lot of times we think that a lot of students don't get to come to the United States unless it's through education. And I think we have so much to offer, but what I like about that experience, not only do they learn from our students and from our community and from our environment, our students also get to learn from them. They get to get an education. And you know, a lot of countries, our education is a premier education, but I want to have the opportunity to send our students other places as well to get a similar experience. They get to take in new cultures. They get to work on their language. And I can remember, especially talking to Richard, because now he gets to get out in public, and he's student body president, and he's speaking in front of groups all the time. But he gets to work on his speaking skills and his language skills and his English by doing that. And I know that other students do that as well. They get career opportunities. When the students first came here from Zambia, I don't think they even knew this. They were all told that they were going to be nursing majors. Okay, right. Of the 2 students here, or 3 students here, are any of you nursing majors? Raise your hand. As I see Ezra just came in. Ezra is still a nursing major. The other students, what they did, they got here and they found their way. They decided that they want to do some other things, and that's perfectly okay. They find new interests. That's the next thing. They get to make lifelong friends, and I think they have made some connections through the community and through the university. I think all of the students coming get to definitely make some lifelong friends. Some personal development, just watching them from the time that they walked through the door and sat in my office on a Sunday and wondering like, okay, what's next? And we left my office and went to Walmart, and that was a very interesting experience that they can tell you about later. Once we got to the register and figured out the currency was different. Personal development, life experiences, and some of them will go to grad school or go into professional careers. And now that we've raised the flag of Ecuador and Cambodia, I hope those students are able to have those same experiences. So 4 years or maybe 5, we'll be talking about going to Ecuador and Cambodia to celebrate those students' graduation as well. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Brundage. Our next guest speaker is going to be, we're going to do a little bit of a rearrangement. We're going to be hearing from Mr. Scott Noble, who is the Executive Director of Athletics. Please join me with welcoming Mr. Scott Noble.
Thank you. I want to apologize to admissions. We've got a women's basketball game that's tipping off here very shortly, and I need to get back to work. So with me first, in everything that we do, we compete. And I'm competing for the best gift giver of tonight's session. So everybody gets one of these, okay? Thank you.
You win.
Yes. Well, thank you. I want to first of all thank Western New Mexico University. Just like all of our students that come here, we chose them. We picked them. We wanted them. And for us in athletics, we truly search the world for not only great student athletes, but great students, great people. It is probably the best thing that we do in athletics, and that is to take people from all walks of life, from different religions, backgrounds, large cities, large countries, small countries, different races, different cultures, and we put them together with the same vision and goals to be successful, not only in the classroom, but in the sport that they love to play. And I am very proud to announce that we represent 18 countries in our athletic department. And I would like to mention that Mexico, France, Denmark, Spain, Colombia, Brazil, Sweden, Switzerland, England, Canada, Argentina, Taiwan, South Africa, Ecuador, Guatemala, Peru, Bolivia, and Samoa. So, thank you. The people that we bring together here at Western New Mexico University, once they get to us, we build a culture around them. A culture that's based on selflessness, discipline, work ethic, and most of all, kindness. Once those all come together, you not only see great people working for or toward the same goal, but you see a community develop, a true love for each other, a friendship and a bond that will last their lifetime. I am so proud to be a part of Western New Mexico University and its athletic department and the young men and women that help us do what we do. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Noble. And if anybody's interested in catching any of our student athletes in action, you can always check out their schedules at WNMUmustangs.com. And I think they would all appreciate your support. They are amazing student athletes. Our next speaker then is going to be Mr. Andrew Lunt, the Director of Admissions. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Lunt to the microphone.
We're making another change.
Oh, we're making another change? Hold on. Who's our next speaker then?
Richard.
Oh, Richard, okay. Join me in welcoming Mr. Richard Mubanga, the WNMU Student Body President.
Good evening, everybody. I am sorry for the inconvenience. I did not mean to cut in line. I am rushing somewhere. We do have a Western New Mexico student, associated student retreat going on right now, and I need to be there. But I couldn't not pass this opportunity to talk to everybody here. I'm also excited to, announce that I'll be graduating. So I'm blessed, honestly, to be part of the Western family. And it can't go without saying that, the struggles that international students go through is quite different than a local student, a student who's in the United States. Not only do we go through like cultural shock and homesickness and that kind of stuff, we also go through language barriers, how to talk, how to address yourself, how to dress, that kind of stuff. Back home, I was telling Dr. Blanders that the culture is different, It's different in a way that, because back home, like, kindness is big, you can see people walking and holding hands, and you don't think of anything about them. But back here, when people are holding hands, it's like, oh, they're together, that kind of stuff, yeah? But it is also intriguing, it's intriguing because we get to learn a lot, and that's the privilege that international students get. We know something that Americans don't know, we know another culture. But also it comes with a lot of difficulties, like, trying to adjust in your classes. I didn't know how to speak English when I came here. I'm pretty decent right now. I'm not trying to boast, but I can complete a sentence, And it's amazing the growth that international students go through, and this has been a place where that growth has been nurtured, and I myself am a testament to that. Christian Challenge was one of it. I've been in Christian Challenge since the day I came here at Western New Mexico University, and I've nurtured that growth in me. Student Affairs has been one of those. So these departments are just playing a big role to make me a person that I am today. And I encourage international students, if you're an athlete or just a student, make sure you get engaged in student activities. Let the whole environment help you to become the best version of yourself. And someday maybe, do great things as you are here. Work for student affairs, work for student life, work for the library. Take those opportunities as you're here, because that is your career path right there. You just nurture it. Other than that, I just want to say thank you so much to Western New Mexico University. And of course, we might plan on getting together as international students, make something for ourselves, maybe a club or something. This is my last semester, so I'd like to start it off before I leave. And and someday maybe test some food from Ecuador or Taiwan or something like that. Get things going. But I appreciate you and thank you so much for having us.
Thank you, Richard, and again, congratulations on all your success here at Western New Mexico University and your future educational and personal endeavors. Our next speaker, is this confirmed Barbara now? Mr. Andrew Lunt? Is this for reals this time? All right, Mr. Andrew Lunt, Director of Admissions, please welcome to the mic.
To say before I get started, anybody else want to go first? So, a perfect example of how going through a degree can really change the way that you think. During the raising of the flags, one of my degrees is in HR management. And during the raising of the flags, I couldn't help but think that we are all potential witnesses, if something were to happen, to a lawsuit or claim, workman's comp claim. And it's just funny how, it pops into your head and think, man, could happen, right? Very American, exactly. Thank you so much for inviting me to speak today. I only have about 5-6 pages here. Very hard acts to follow with the individuals that have spoken already. So they've had some wonderful points. Hopefully I can add to that. As mentioned, my name is Andrew Lunt. I am the Director of Admissions and Recruitment here with WNMU. And part of what I am privileged to oversee in my position is our international student admissions. I'm assuming that most people don't know what goes into to becoming an international student and maintaining that status. So to start putting things into perspective, a normal applicant to the university may have approximately half a dozen steps that they would need to take in order to get accepted and become a student. International students have a 13-page packet that they need to follow with approximately 9 to 12 steps to becoming a student, including getting their education evaluated from their home country for U.S. equivalency, lining up one or more sponsors to help finance their education, and proving English proficiency. There are even more steps after completing everything for acceptance to the university that a prospective student would have to take, such as interviewing with their consulate for a visa, paying government fees, arranging everything to get to this beautiful remote area all from afar, which is part of a document that lists 7 more items that need to be done before they even arrive to the United States. The reason I mention these things is to give you just a very small idea of the commitment that an international student shows just to get here. The rules, laws, regulations that have to be followed throughout their whole time as a student is by far beyond what any traditional student goes through. We have students from, as you can see, looking around. To name a few, Mexico, China, Italy, Ireland, Argentina, Brazil, Canada, Guatemala, Russia, Iraq, and the UK, Africa, and so many more. And now, we get to add Cambodia and Ecuador to that list. I commend all of our international students for their strength and commitment, their drive and focus. I thank your parents, your sponsors, your supporters, and most importantly, each of you for trusting WNMU with your education, your safety, and in providing a great experience while pursuing your goals and dreams here in the United States. We are honored to have such dedicated people among us here at WNMU. And I feel honored and privileged to be able to, along with my team, work with and assist these amazing individuals. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lunt. Our next guest speaker and our last guest speaker is going to be Ms. Margaret Medina. She is the Assistant Director of Admissions. Please give her a round of applause.
Thank you, everyone. I just have to say that everyone's a hard act to follow because you guys said so much about our students, but I've worked in the admissions office most of all your lives if you're an international student, if not more. And I can say, working with these students, I've never met a more driven, determined group of individuals. Like it was said earlier, these students go through so much just to come here and get their education. I know I have 2 daughters myself, and I can't even imagine sending my daughters off to a foreign country where they don't speak the language or where they don't, they can't identify with the culture. But I watch these students come in, like Natasha and Richard and Ezra. They come into our office. They're 18-year-old kids. They're just kids. And they come into our office and they're scared, and I'm as fascinated with them as they are with coming to WNMU. We get to learn about their culture. They get to learn about ours. And 4 years later, they leave our offices, and we know more about them, they know more about us, and we feel confident that they're ready to face the world. They're ready to go out, and a lot of them stay here in our country, and we know that they become very successful. So it's an honor for us to work with them. We enjoy getting to learn all about them if they share with us. And if any of you in the crowd that are international students need help, please come to admissions. We will help you with everything we can. And thank you, everyone. It was a great night.
Thank you, Margaret. Wonderfully said. We'd like to open the mic up to if anybody is interested in helping us celebrate. If anybody has any words to say, is there anybody who would like to come up to the mic and speak briefly? Awesome.
Hi everyone, so I'm representing Cambodia. Sadly to say though, I am a graduate student, so I only have 2 years at WNMU. However, I want to say Akun, and thank you to everyone who set up this wonderful event. I appreciate all the hard work that was put into making this a reality and a possibility. So I just want to say throughout my life, although my life has not been centered around my country of origin, I acknowledge the importance I acknowledge the points of recognizing where I'm from. When I was first adopted from Cambodia, people on the streets would tell my mother, thank you. Thank you for educating one of us, because in their mindset, it was important for them to see and acknowledge that one of their own was receiving an education. And I want to recognize the harsh realities that Cambodia has faced with the previous genocide by the Khmer Rouge in their extermination of those with knowledge. And I feel like this is a reverberation of everyone's dreams, hopes, and wishes from my country. So I just want to say once again, thank you so much, and I look forward to my 2 years here at WNMU. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your story with us. Is there anybody else who would like to come up to the microphone and say any words? Anybody? No? No? All right. Then this would conclude our event. And again, I'd just like to thank everybody for coming to this event. It's amazingly important to support our students and our international students. So how about you give yourselves a round of applause? But the night is not over. We have refreshments. We have one last guest speaker. No, I'm just kidding. We have refreshments to be provided in the student life cooler, which is through those 2 doors there. So please help yourself to refreshments, and please drive home safely. Thank you.